Yes, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Fixture List. We're going to be talking a bit of rugby this weekend. We're going to be talking UFC. Talking a little bit about Cheltenham, which is happening next week. And we will be talking a little bit about what's going on in the Premier League. And don't worry, we'll be laughing at Liverpool a little bit as well. But before we get into that, Jadon Sancho can move for that news.
So much smoke, isn't there? At some point, there's got to be a bit of fire here. Everyone's talking about it.
Or a smoke grenade.
Or just a smoke grenade. There's loads of things that produce smoke that don't produce fire. Cigarettes.
Name 6.
Cigarettes, smoke grenade, rubbing a bit of wood into another bit of wood.
Eventually you've got to brutally touch fire. But yeah.
If you do a fart into some dust, it looks like smoke, but it's actually just fart dust.
Okay, but...
it's like a smoke machine going through there.
Yeah, it's under my desk.
It works so well that the smoke alarm goes off.
It did.
And
we had to abandon that idea.
And finally, when you blow out a match, yes, there was fire originally, but there is, at the end, smoke with no fire.
Okay.
Easy.
There was 6.
Job done.
Tediously,
though, Jadon Sancho. The smoke.
There is smoke with Jadon Sancho, and I do think there's fire. I don't think it's a tap-in. I don't think it's done. I think all of those things are still TBC. But I do know that he wants to come to Manchester. I do know that United would pay what they are preparing to pay for him in terms of wages. I think the biggest hurdle is agreeing a fee with Dortmund, and I think United need to mentally prepare themselves for somewhere in the region of 100 million.
Yeah.
And is it worth it? No, but I don't think transfer fees have made sense since the 90s.
Yeah, and the thing, if you look at these huge transfer fees, not all of them come off. Like Pogba, I would say the fact that we could probably sell him for what we bought him for, you'd say it's just about worked. Coutinho didn't work at Barcelona.
No.
By any means. Dembele hasn't worked at Barcelona.
Nope.
Usman Dembele. Ronaldo obviously worked. Ronaldo for the second time, you could probably say he's working. But João Felix so far hasn't worked. 120
God,
million
imagine
euros.
you spent 120 odd million on him.
And he's still got a long way to go. But it's not like these signings you have any higher success rate just because they're more money. So it is always a risk. I think people underestimate, just get him. But it is a lot of money and it is a big risk.
100 million.
At least.
100, yeah, at least 100 million. I'm going to put my phone on silent because
go on, put your phone on silent.
It's fucking well annoying.
I just think
that
I think though it always comes back to me to do we need him? Can we afford him? If the answer is yes for both, sort of don't let them worry about the finer details of fees. We need him. We can afford him. Get him.
Yeah, people are like, why would he leave Dortmund? I don't know, but he clearly wants out.
Yeah.
I think he wants to come back to England. I mean, living in another country, whether you're a millionaire in that country or not, it's still another country. If you've got your family support network and your friends, that can be a massive indicator in what's happening. And I think that one of the reasons Chelsea was a very good forerunner in this is because I know he's going back to London a hell of a lot. Manchester's only a couple of hours on the train. I know he likes the city. The fact that he played for City means nothing because he's not a City fan.
If anything, it just helps because he knows the city well. Like you said, I think sometimes people from London they think, well, I'm north, but he knows it. He's been here for years in the academy. He knows that kind of thing. Also, back to the Dortmund thing. No offense to Dortmund. I know everyone likes them. I like them. Everyone's kind of underdog in the league. They've only won the league. They haven't won it in about 7 years. They won
under Klopp the last one.
They won it under Klopp about 6, 7 years ago. They haven't won the Champions League.
They went under Tuchel.
I don't think they did. I think Bayern Munich have won it the last 6 or 7 years. They haven't won the Champions League since 1997. It's not like they win tons of big trophies all the time. People always talk about him not joining United if we don't get Champions League. I know obviously Dortmund have got a better chance of winning it because they're in it. But they're not like Real Madrid here or Barcelona. They've won it 23 years ago and
they are
got to one
club
final
that's
since.
A stepping stone club.
Yeah.
They are definitely seen it, and I think they like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
I think
with that.
they like being that stepping stone club. Bayern Munich is a destination club in Germany. Dortmund is not. But Dortmund uncovers Dortmund's track record of pulling in teenagers or even the likes of Lewandowski and pulling them in and making them unbelievable players is unmatched. I think. Where you've got the likes of Ajax, they grow their players. Manchester United. A lot of people are going to disagree on this, but there's only United, Ajax, and Barcelona have produced the most international footballers in the world as clubs. So deal with that. But Dortmund are a team that brings in players and makes them
great
fucking
recruit.
and then they're probably making a massive profit. They're probably looking at we paid 7 million for Sancho. If we sell him for 100. Quid's in. We've paid 29 for Haaland. What do you think they're selling him for at the minute?
100. Yeah. And again, Dembele, same thing. They got him from France, cheap fee, sold him to Barcelona for 100 million. I'm not having a go at Dortmund at all, but people act like they're the best team in the world, when really they're a very exciting and I'm sure fun team to play for, but they don't win that many trophies. So I don't.
And I think one of the reasons for that is because their business model is to rotate staff. Yeah, and like not everybody can be winning 20 titles back to back and European Cups. Like you have to, like if you're. And again, I don't mean this as a dig at like Newcastle, but if you're Newcastle, you can't sit there and go, I think we should dominate the Premier League for the next 25 years. Yeah. Some are like, are you fucking insane? Yeah. You can't do that. No. You got to know what you are. And when people talk about like, oh, you're accepting lower standards for United, like, are you? No, we just like we all want to be back to the top, and you've got to work towards being back at the top. But we haven't got a billionaire sheikh. We've literally got the opposite. We've got no one that's willing to put that sort of thing in. So you have to do it another way. You have to find another way to the mountaintop, and that other way might be mixing it around the way we're doing. Find some good bargains, spend some money on some good players, use the commercial power of the club to try and compete while being hindered by what we've got in terms of ownership with the Glazers. Not everyone can be Sheikh Mansour's little plaything. Not everyone can be the Spanish government or Spanish monarchy's little plaything and just get that. There has to be other ways to operate and run football clubs. And so many times we've seen people become a big plaything. Look at Monaco in the last few years.
I mean, look at them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. They went from like being everyone's favourite exciting team in the Champions League to they're fucked, aren't they? Yeah. Playing, honestly, if you go and watch a bit of French football, you can count how many Monaco fans are in the crowd. Yeah, there's about ridiculous. 19 people.
There's probably more people on your sofa watching it on telly than there is in the stadium.
Yeah, it's horrendous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. So Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. What I do like is it seems like it's the first week of March. We've got people linking United to Grealish very heavily. We've got people linking to United to Sancho very heavily. Some people are going to get dead mad that we're only signing English players, but I mean that's life. Solskjaer clearly wants something cultural that he sees as his vision. Let's see what it produces.
I think with Grealish, there are probably other options that aren't English, but Sancho is the standout winger for his age in the world, regardless of nationality. That's almost like he happens to be English. I think with Sancho, he's the best winger in the world, and he's English, and he's 20. So I think Grealish maybe, but this English thing, I think, just happens to be the case for Sancho.
Yeah, I think you're right, probably. And I think if you got those two, I think the chance creation problem that we've got no longer exists, especially if you've got what you've got with Bruno. I do think you're losing Pogba in the summer regardless. Yeah. But then it'd be really interesting to see where they go next, because Solskjaer clearly wants a striker. I would, even right now, if you said make a decision, I'd say fuck it, keep Ighalo. Just sign him on for another year. Go for it. Yeah, just sign him on for another year. If you can't find, like if in their head they say, we think Haaland is our perfect striker, well, you're not getting him this year. No. So do you wait 18 months and let Ighalo have a free hit at it for 18 months and then bring him in, rather than wasting £70 million on your second or third or fourth choice? I think that makes way more sense. He doesn't even need to score like 20 goals for me. No,
and especially with the age of the squad as well. If you were looking at a team like, not City, because they've kind of recruited now, but someone like Chelsea last season before they brought these youngsters in, if we had an average age of sort of 28, 29, you might think, well, we can't risk giving Ighalo a season because this team needs to win now. Yeah. Whereas if Sancho comes in, if Grealish comes in, the average age is about 24. Like, we can wait 12 months or 18 months for the perfect person to become available.
A lot of the fan base doesn't want to wait for any of that thing.
No, but I think we saw from Liverpool, to go from being 6th, 5th, 4th area to challenging for the title, it takes 3 perfect years. So let's hope we've seen one, assuming Solskjaer's the right man because he's in, so what else are we going to do? We've seen one. It's still going to be 2, even if it's perfect.
I see 5 signings. I see a right winger, another attacking midfielder, let's say Grealish. I see a centre forward, and then I can make a case for either a number 6 or a real destroying sign a number 8, and then I think possibly another centre half. Yeah. And I think if you brought them in, and you can throw some names to that, like we said, Niguez, Partey, even someone like McGinn would do for me as that combative sort of player. Koulibaly at defence. Like, if you brought them in, I think United now look like a team that could go and compete. Yeah. And maybe even wait for the cycle at Liverpool team to finish. Yeah, and if they are the 5 right players, that's all it like. I'm not saying that once we've signed 5 players we'll be challenging for the title, but we've seen, like I said, unfortunately we have to use Liverpool as the example. They were laughable till they got Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, Alisson, and then Mane's worked, Salah's worked, Firmino's worked. Those players, those 5 players there, what took them from being where United are now to being the
Henderson's
best team in the
average,
country.
Wijnaldum's average.
Fabinho's pretty good.
Oxlade-Chamberlain average. Yeah, Fabinho's pretty good. Keita, there was
Not
so
worked
much
out,
talk
really.
about him being like, well, but we're signing what you thought Pogba was going to be. Was the whole spiel from them.
He's played about the same amount of games in the last season, so yeah, maybe they're right.
No, but like, it's a couple of key players in the first team, first choice players. And actually, I think Harry Maguire has changed a lot of people's perception about him in the last few weeks.
I think he was incredible against Everton. I think it's his best performance. He looked like Vidic. He looked like a player that, this is my defence.
Yeah, he looked
this.
in control and aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm so much time for that.
And we conceded 13 corners, which is just too many. But
we probably should have conceded
good
about 10 goals off that.
We looked good. They didn't create too many chances from the corners. There was a couple of half things here and there, but he headed away so many. Even McTominay coming back in looked good. Just his height and his size. But Maguire was a real captain, looked brilliant. So not that many big games in Europe this week.
No, we had the El Clasico last weekend,
We've
obviously.
been spoiled, you're right. You know what? I get a taste for it. I like these big games. I want more. A lot of fourth and fifth stuff. But I tell you what is big. Finally, we've got some big fights in the UFC.
Oh, this is a cracker of a card this weekend. Israel Adesanya against someone who masquerades as a human in Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
And we got Weili Yang against Joanna Jędrzejczyk as well, which I am absolutely pumped for.
That's going to be good, isn't it? I can't wait. I think we need some tips. We need some advice.
Just a tip, though. Lee, do you want to give us your tip?
Nah, don't think so. I'm backing Joanna for the upset. I think she's been sorely underrated. Weili Yang's impressed. The way she took out Jessica Andrade to win the title was great. But that's really all she's fought, and I don't think she's ever fought a striker just as technically proficient as Joanna is. And Joanna might be 2-3 in the last 5 fights, but she's been fighting the top women, the top fighters. Stepping up to face Valentina Shevchenko and losing. There was no disgrace in that at all. So it's not a case of a washed-up fighter. And I think the bookies have been incredibly generous with the odds. She's 21-10 to win by decision. And if you're going to back Joanna, you might as well go all in because that is how she tends to win fights.
Joanna by decision is a good shout. And at 21-10 was that?
Yeah.
21-10 is not bad. And with Paddy Power. 21-10, not bad in the slightest. What's Weili Yang on this? Because I am leaning towards Yang, but I don't think she's going to be good odds.
She's a slight odds-on favourite. It's not massive. I just think the bookies have completely underrated Joanna. I don't understand it. She gets stronger as the fight wears on. Weili Zhang has never been past the 3rd round. Joanna's an expert at going 5 rounds, so I think she maybe plays safe the first couple of rounds, then steps it up 3rd, 4th, 5th, and takes it on the scorecards.
I think Zhang can do it, mate.
Yeah,
but there's no point putting on when it's odds on.
No, Joanna's chin worries me a little bit. She takes a hit and she goes down a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, that's because her biggest. She's watched the Rocky films and gone. That's how you defend, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. You bounce back up.
Yeah, you catch them on the face, and then it's not a good. It's not a good tactic in reality.
No, not really. 21-10 though does seem like good odds for.
I like that. Yeah, I do like that for Joanna.
One of the best champions ever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and Weili, I do like her actually, Weili Zhang. But I'm not going to be backing her when she's odds on. Let's talk the main event, Lee. This for starters. Why is Yoel Romero even in this fight? He's on a 2-fight loss streak.
Because look at him. Just give him big fights. Look at the size of him. You can't put him against some like 15th, ranked 15 person in that division. You can't. He has to fight in big fights. He's too big.
But you got him getting a title fight on the back of a losing streak. You got Aldo getting title fights on the back of a losing streak.
Yeah. I love it. He's 40. He's at least 43 years old. He needs a title fight. He needs a title. Come on, give him a title.
I like watching Yoel Romero fight. I like watching Yoel Romero do anything. To be honest,
I'd like to watch him make soup because he probably just crushes it into immediate soup. He don't use a blender. Don't use nothing. Just gets his hand in there and squeezes the vegetable to juice.
Okay, so ignoring the fact that he makes his own soup, ignoring the fact that he's on a 2-fight loss streak, how do you see this one going, Lee?
Adesanya successfully defending the title. Romero's in this spot purely because there's just a shortage at the top of the rankings of available fighters. So I think it's been a case of, can we find a ranked fighter to take on Adesanya at this time? Yeah, that guy will do. It's not particular. It'd be foolish to rule out Romero because the guy hits like a freight train. And if he decides to wrestle, we haven't seen Adesanya challenge like that yet.
We also haven't really seen Yoel Romero do that. For a guy with like Olympian wrestling pedigree, he forgets that he's allowed to do that, I think.
It seems to be a few wrestlers that do that. Where they're like Cormier against Stipe, he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to box you. And then, I've lost. Yeah.
It's crazy, you know, if you're so good at something like Romero is at wrestling, why wouldn't you use it? And I think if you went to that more, he'd have probably been champion by now.
Just like real intelligent, like stealing rounds and wet blanketing a little bit. But that's not what he comes to do. He comes to just rock the house, doesn't it? And I think we're going to get that. I think we're going to have an absolute mental first round. Well, first round where we go, what's going to happen next? Yeah. And then, Adesanya just picks him apart as he goes along, I think.
Romero's going to come out all guns blazing because he has to, because it's like the old Street Fighter games. As the rounds go on, that power bar saps down that little bit more and that little bit more. Then the latter couple of rounds, he'll maybe have a quick 30-second burst and spend the rest of the round puffing and panting trying to get his breath back. Adesanya's just got to fight smart. Play safe for a couple of rounds, even give them away on the scorecards if he has to, but then step it up third, fourth, fifth, and I do fancy him for a late stoppage because I think with that speed, that movement, and just the incredible striking techniques that he has, I don't know if Romero will be able to stick with it. It's been a long time since Romero was stopped, but he has been stopped by strikes before. So at 11-8, I'm really...
What's the tip on that one?
Adesanya by KO/TKO at 11-8.
I like how everyone describes fighting Romero like you're just trying to fight a house. He's just so hard. The ones I think from the Fantastic Four, the other thing that's just made of rocks. That's just what Yoel Romero is. Imagine kicking him. It would hurt so much.
John, you were saying about a Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Which Street Fighter do you think he would be?
Zangief.
Of course it's Zangief. There's no one else.
I haven't played enough Street Fighter. I'm going to go Bowser. Is he on Street Fighters? Go. Keep talking, lads.
or the Brazilian thing. What's the Brazilian thing called that? It's electric.
Oh, Blanca.
Blanca, yeah.
Yeah, the electric guy.
Yeah, you say Blanca, yeah.
Shut up.
Oh.
Right, so we're going with Ioane on Jacek at 21-10 with Paddy Power, and we're looking at Israel Adesanya by KO. 11-8, was that?
Yeah, and it was Ioane by decision for 21-10.
Awesome. All right, Lee, where can we find more of your stuff?
bettingpro.com. We've got all the big fight tips for UFC, boxing. We'll be branching out into Bellator once the bookmakers start offering more markets. So yeah, bettingpro.com for all your fight betting.
All right, nice one. Cheers, Lee.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Right then, what's going on in the rest of the league this week?
We've got all sorts going on. We've got Chelsea-Everton.
That's massive for us.
That is massive for us. What do you fancy there? Chelsea loss?
Fuck knows. I do fancy a Chelsea loss, but doesn't that mean Everton are like literally like that?
Maybe a draw. I always just go draw. Let's have the most sort of cumulative drop points possible.
Yeah.
So 4 points.
Yeah, because then there's only 2 points distributed instead of 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we do it.
We'll have a draw with that. Liverpool have got Bournemouth. I mean, pressure's got to be on Jurgen Klopp now.
We've seen Bournemouth as well get a draw at Chelsea last week, so they've got a bit of form. I don't know whether that helps or not, because you always think...
What's he got, 1 win in 4, is it?
Don't worry about that. Look at the Chelsea game, like I said.
No, fuck that.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, 1 win in 4. They never win.
1 win in 4.
I actually can't remember the last time that they won.
Why is he rotating in an FA Cup ahead of a fucking league that he's won? Explain that to me, Joe.
I really don't know. I honestly can't come up with even like a joke reason. Why is that happening? Are Liverpool fans okay with it?
We're like 10... Yeah, because they're just fucking... Right? We are, 10 days out of the winter transfer league.
Yeah. I don't know. They've obviously prioritised the league, but they've won that.
Yeah.
They literally couldn't lose that.
No.
Honest, and I feel comfortable saying that. I think even Liverpool fans would feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah. The league's won.
They can't lose the league no matter who they play. Huh. The Champions League is obviously a big one, and they're struggling in that, but they could come back. We've seen it before. But the FA Cup...
It's a free swing almost.
Yeah, and if you want to establish this team as one of the best teams ever, you have to be going for the big trophies.
1 week ago, treble on.
Yeah.
Treble and undefeated in the league was on.
Yeah.
Now...
Which would have been the best season anyone's ever had.
Yeah. I mean, I think the treble's a much more significant achievement than going undefeated. I really do. Because you can be relegated being undefeated.
Yeah.
But... the winning is the achievement there for me. Not being the undefeated. Like, United are undefeated in like 8 games. Is anyone fucking calling us great? No. Correct. Right? The winning 3 trophies, this fucking thing. The winning of 3 trophies in 1 season is the achievement. not the fact that you've gone undefeated. But if Liverpool won the treble undefeated, you go, fucking hell, that's really good.
Yeah.
That is really good. No, they're not doing that.
No, and they tried to go out in the FA Cup last round.
Yeah.
They played 8.
They tried to go out against Arsenal, but Arsenal are that shit that they couldn't even win a fixed game.
They couldn't beat they couldn't beat those children. I just don't quite get it. I think if you're being, from a sort of very safe stance, I guess you would say they just want to make sure with the lead, but he's 22 points clear.
You could literally play the children.
Yeah,
they're clearly all right.
Yeah, I don't understand it, and they haven't scored in those 3 games they've lost either. By the way, 1-0, 3-0, 2-0. So they're struggling to make chances, and I think that's the thing they've got these fullbacks, and to be honest, I watched the Chelsea game, so I saw that. I saw highlights of the Watford game and highlights of the Atletico game. I don't know whether it's the stopping the fullbacks making chances, because we know that so many of the assists come from Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I really want to find out how much of them come from open play versus corners and free kicks, because I actually think it's way less than we want to think it is in open play.
Maybe it is, and maybe that's why they've been able to stop them, because the people good in the air from set pieces, disciplined defences. But Chelsea have been poor from set pieces this season, and Liverpool didn't really make any. Watch that second half yesterday. Liverpool hardly made a chance, and Chelsea made 10. Honestly, that game could have been 5-0. Yeah. The amount of times Chelsea were just streaming through.
Rolls-Royce Van Dijk. I saw loads of people absolutely tearing into Van Dijk, which is interesting to see.
Yeah, and obviously they've had a great season. They're going to win the league, but yeah, I can't come up with any explanation as to why they didn't go for the treble in a meaningful way. They rested a lot of players. People say they played a lot of games. Everyone's played a lot of games.
Yeah, they played like 2 more because of that World Cup thing.
Should have rested people for that. I'd rather win the FA Cup than the Club World Cup, obviously.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
United versus City this weekend. How do you feel? Because, for the last 4 or 5 years, generally, we're probably going to fucking lose, aren't we?
But then we've beat them twice already this season.
Yeah.
Once was a bit of a dead rubber, but nothing wrong with that.
To be fair, wasn't.
Well,
we made a game of it.
Yeah, we made a game of it. I mean, as it turned out, it was inconsequential, but we have beat them twice.
It was 1-0, but the last 5 minutes or so, if we score, party time.
Yeah, extra time and that. So, yeah, it was. I go into all these big games with a bit of confidence now, which is nice because under Louis, we kind of had it a little bit, but not really. Under Jose, that kind of drifted away slowly, didn't it? You just think, right, let's just park the bus. Just the bus memes coming out 2 days in advance. Start the bus on Wednesday, park the bus on Saturday. All that stuff.
It's the worst Craig David song ever.
Took her to the bus on Tuesday. We were on the back seat by Wednesday. I think we go into these games now with a sense that we've been here and we've done this. Over the last 18 months, we've had the second best record against the other top six.
Do you think people are fearing United in these games?
Definitely. Because
That's
I think,
good, isn't it?
it is good. Especially Chelsea. We've beaten 3 times this season.
Oh yeah, Frank Lampard wakes up in the night like, Jesus fucking Christ.
He sees Ollie when he closes his eyes. And yeah, I think Rashford's a big key to that. We don't have him obviously, but we still beat Chelsea without him. I think without him it's going to be more difficult. But Bruno has kind of come in and softened that blow somewhat. And
Bruno, McTominay, Gallo. Yeah. I mean, Greenwood's finishing stats for this season are quite frankly fucking ridiculous. I'd play him, and I think you'd probably get a lot out of him. I'd play Gallo as well, just to get a cut. We don't know what's going on with him, do we? But I would definitely go with Gallo from the start and just say, just put the shits up him. Just press them from the front because you've seen what he's playing like. That is the happiest man in football at the moment. And how much would you buzz on watching him, knowing he's a United fan, burying the winner?
Yeah, doing what Owen did, but he's a United fan.
At the Stretford end, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm on the pitch. I'm on tier 2. I'll have to get all the way down the stairs.
Get one of those little squirrel suits
down
straight onto the pitch.
14 flights of stairs. Just wait.
Keep going.
Nearly there.
Keep going.
Catch me breath.
Have a breath. Have a minute. Do you want a drink?
Right, we're having it.
Okay, go on. If he scored the winner, it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? I think it looks like Laporte's going to be injured again. He got injured the other day.
That's why you got to put him under pressure, especially John Stones.
It's either going to be Stones, maybe Fernandinho, Otamendi as well. We've seen all of those players make mistakes against United.
Call it. What are you saying?
I do think it's going to be tough because there's been a little bit of a trend of the away team doing better. I think both teams kind of struggle on the counter-attack, and I think there's going to be some expectation that we hold the ball a little bit. But to be honest, I fancy a draw. I think it's going to be a really tight game.
One draw in about the last 20 or something.
United to win 1-0 then.
I think if City turn up like they did in the League Cup at home, which was one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen from United, honestly, it felt hopeless.
Yes.
Joe, if you had thrown in a 5-year-old with a prime Mike Tyson, and you go, that was how I felt. It was just like, we aren't winning this.
No.
But then I think we won the second half, didn't we? Yeah. And then we won the next game.
Yeah. But then there was that goal that started it, that Bernardo Silva goal outside the box, world-class goal, brilliant finish. It's one of them where, obviously, that's why you have world-class players. But if you can stop that first goal from City, I think they get frustrated quite easily as a team. Especially this season, they've dropped quite a lot of points.
Especially this month, with everything that's going on at the moment. Yeah. I don't think Pep's the kind of guy to make a real siege mentality and be like, right, we're having it. I don't get that vibe from him.
No,
I think
he knows this season's... The Champions League is their big thing this season. And also with the Champions League ban, I reckon, do you know when you know someone's going through a bit of a tough time at home, but everything seems all right, and then all of a sudden they can't tie their shoelace? Or they go, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm sick. We might see I'm sick of this from City if United can get a goal and if you can.
But I think you've got to attack their defence. I think you've got to attack them where they like to hold possession with no pressure, get in the face, and that's why I go Agallo, and that's why I go with the most aggressive, wild bunch of unhinged fuckers I can find.
Speaking of, Wan-Bissaka, who has pocketed Sterling the last 3 times we played him, looks like he's not going to be fit.
Yeah.
How does that change things?
Well, I don't believe Ollie in these press conferences.
He's got a bit of a niggle. And Dan James as well, another one who's good on the counter.
I can believe that more after not seeing him at weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like Ollie's attempt at mind games in this sort of stuff. Obviously, we've got to play Derby tonight. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of team lines up. Hoping that if Wan-Bissaka is out, Ethan Laird, come on down. I mean, by the time this comes out, we'll know what the squad is because, people who like to fucking stand outside hotels and photograph people will have already put that in the places.
But then they always go the next day, Martial's with the squad, he wasn't pictured at the Lowry. Like, well, what was the point in picturing anyone at the Lowry then, when they can just send someone not from the hotel?
And I loved it at one point. I mean, do you remember when we beat Chelsea and Herrera got sent off? Martial and Rashford... Jose used the media, and I thought it was amazing. So, and I can imagine too, I think Rashford would have been 18, 19 at the time, 19, I think. What's Martial, 20, 21, maybe 20, 19. Jose comes and grabs you and goes, right, lads, here's what we're going to do. And then when everything happened like he said it was going to be, I bet you've been like, yes. Yeah, he goes, right, you two don't get the train with everybody else, because they get the train from Stockport down to London. You two don't get the train. Get the next train.
Secret mission,
yeah. At 19, like this. And when he goes, because the formerly great local newspaper, now disreputable online blog, are going to take photographs and put it in that you're not in the squad. And at the time, Zlatan was injured and Rooney was injured. So everyone is going to panic. Oh my God, we've got no strikers. Where the fuck are them two, by the way? And then you know that you're getting down there a little bit later.
I'd love
and
a
they get
secret
picked
mission.
up. And you sort of say to them, and then you win the fucking game.
Yeah.
Did we lose the game, actually? Because Herrera got sent off.
Let's not worry about that. But, do you know as well,
it went to plan, kind of.
When people say, the manager isn't willing to do stuff like that. With Jose, he hid in a washing cart to get in the dressing room when he was at Chelsea.
I got so much
He's willing to do it.
Yeah.
You can't be like, he's making us do this little mission. You're like, now we're in this together. He's a secret agent, and now we're secret agents. I'd love it. Absolutely love it. I'd always ask to get the different train. I'd put a disguise on, little Groucho Marx moustache and glasses, big hat.
Players are way more boring than
newspaper with holes cut in like Wallace and Gromit. I'd love that. So good. Right, on to a bit of Super League then. I've got into it this season. I'm good.
Fucking good, isn't it?
It is good. It is good. Loads of tackles, loads of where they put the ball down, and the other one's like, yeah, I'll grab it. All that stuff. Love all that. That is what it was. It called?
Play the ball.
Play the ball, yeah.
A fucking unbelievable try this weekend from Wigan. Marshall. Marshall. Not Tony. Different
not
guy.
Mathers.
Yeah, or that guy. Real Slim Shady. Slim Shady. I'll say that one again. I will not mention the fact that Jermaine McGilvray was nowhere near that. Soz, mate. That was bad. It was if you've not seen it, it was a fucking absolute cracker of a try. Joe, I'm going to ask him if I can play some of their stuff because they do put it on YouTube. And I think they might let us start using some highlights.
Might let us.
They might go, no. But I've got an update for you in a thing.
So how did our teams do this week then? Don't give me some bad news, Steve. I don't need this right now, mate.
Yours did worse than mine.
Did we both?
Right. Do you know who did the worst?
Who?
Was Dean from Betting Pro. Because Dean from
Dean, are
Betting
you here
Pro.
to defend yourself, or is Steve just going to lambast you from afar?
No, because he didn't know he was calling us today. So
Right,
we
have a
will
go.
have to catch up next week. Now, here's the crack. Last week, Dean was like, Toronto Wolfpack are due a win. 1, it don't work like that.
Not really.
2, I was right. In a big way.
And Steve isn't the sort of guy to rub it in. I told you so.
At
None
all.
of that lot. You'll sit here with grace and dignity, knowing that you were right, without having to have a go at Dean.
I'm not going to have a go. I'm just going to say, you got it 32-0 wrong.
That's a big score. 32-0 is almost like one team turned up by accident, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we just turned up at someone's house and played a game and they weren't even in.
32-0. Not only was it uncompetitive, like, oh, come on, man. Well, yeah, so I'm having that. I'm walking away with that one and saying, y'all got that one wrong. In a big way.
What about Huddersfield?
Or Warrington, who you support.
Do you know what? I wanted to... I support Warrington. What about Huddersfield, though?
Huddersfield lost to Wigan. Obviously, Marshall scoring that wonder try. 42-10, I believe that was.
The reason I asked is because my team, Warrington, played Wigan last week and I wanted to see if they'd injured them or affected them.
Yeah, no.
Okay. What about Warrington, my team?
Got absolutely spanked off Leeds, who spanked Salford last week. So,
See?
Leeds, I thought everyone had written Leeds off. Leeds had spent force. Maybe not this year.
Maybe they're coming back.
Killing it this year. Doing really well.
Well, so at the start of the season, I said I like Warrington and that, didn't I?
You just chose a team, yeah.
Well, no, I don't think you choose a team. I think a team chooses you.
Okay.
And I think, in the spirit of such things, 36-0, I think Leeds have now chosen me. And that's not my choice. Like, you don't choose your team. Leeds beat my team so bad that they became my new team.
Right.
So I support Leeds now. Where are we in the table? We don't know.
I'll have to get the table up to have a look.
Leeds is my new team.
It'll be on that side, so that's where you are on the table.
So the Leeds,
Rhinos.
Snakeskins? Rhinos. The Leeds Rhinos are my new team, and I can't wait for us to win again next week.
Salford got beat off Wakefield Trinity. It's not going well for Salford.
You're not supporting Wakefield, though, are you?
No, my fuck no. I'm going Salford.
Sometimes it doesn't happen like that.
I didn't get chosen, mate. No.
Fortunately.
Yes, it's not been a good season. It's been a top. I expected way more out of Warrington. I expected way more out of Salford. I think a lot of people, including Dean, expected way more out of Toronto.
Yeah.
Saints looking fantastic. I think Castleford looked fantastic. Wigan looked really good this year. I mean, they obviously brought in Jackson Hastings amongst others. They're in a good shape. It is what it is. It's a mad season. Like you mentioned before, like you can kind of be shit and then just sneak into the playoffs. And well, you're not going to win it because Saints win it every year. But like, you can sneak into the playoffs and get quite far in the playoffs.
Something, yeah.
So, bit of a good season. Yeah, the games are starting to get nicely interesting and warming up, and we'll go and check a couple out once it gets a bit warmer.
Can't wait, yeah. Once we don't have to wear like gloves, hat, balaclavas,
in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe, do you think they'd be racing on this week?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say probably because they do it every week.
Yes, they do it every week.
They do it almost every day, don't they? Whenever you go in the bookies, there's horse racing on.
Yeah, I think there's every day bar Christmas.
Or they just show them replays.
I don't know.
Maybe they just.
How would you know?
Same horse, it's different day, isn't it? It's not like they get new uniforms. Always a bit of a patchy jacket, just a little fella on a horse.
How long is it till sponsorship comes in on jockeys?
What, and they look like F1 drivers?
Yeah.
Got to be soon, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like horse food.
Because what is it?
Mane
Like,
and tail
you got like
conditioner.
green and white diamond sort of like silk uniform.
Maybe they're sponsored by playing cards. That's why there's always diamonds and hearts and stuff on them. Maybe they already is sponsors.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I'd like to find out a bit more, though. Wouldn't you?
Not really.
Okay, we'll leave it.
Joe, do you think they'd be racing on this week?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say probably because they do it every week.
Yes, they do it every week.
They do it almost every day, don't they? Whenever you go in the bookies, there's horse racing on.
Yeah, I think there's every day bar Christmas.
Or they just show them replays.
I don't know.
Maybe they just.
How would you know?
Same horse, it's different day, isn't it? It's not like they get new uniforms. Always a bit of a patchy jacket, just a little fella on a horse.
How long is it till sponsorship comes in on jockeys?
What, and they look like F1 drivers?
Yeah.
Got to be soon, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like horse food.
Because what is it?
Mane
Like,
and tail
you got like
conditioner.
green and white diamond sort of like silk uniform.
Maybe they're sponsored by playing cards. That's why there's always diamonds and hearts and stuff on them. Maybe they already is sponsors.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I'd like to find out a bit more, though. Wouldn't you?
Not really.
Okay, we'll leave it.
Ross, who's racing this week?
Well, there's racing every day, as you're quite right to say, but no one actually cares a jot about what's going on this week. It's all about next week, the 4 days at Cheltenham. So if it's all right with you guys, we'll forget talking about this week and we'll talk about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, the best 4 days of racing this year.
What sort of celebrities can we expect to see at Cheltenham?
I'll be there. That's one. There's normally get footballers there urinating off balconies. I think they were last year, so that didn't go down too well. A couple of guys got suspended for that.
Balcony is the name of one of the
Cast of Love Island will be there. Absolutely, definitely the cast of Love Island. Who else will be there?
Why?
I mean,
Did he share the same dentist or
something?
something? What the fucking hell are they doing on there?
Very nice. That was good.
Like that. High five.
Horse, big teeth. Love that.
Sorry, go on.
So loads of people are going to be there.
Fucking Love Island. I could walk past the entire cast of Love Island in shorts, next to each other, one after the other, won't have a fucking clue. I just think you're underdressed.
Yeah, you've been to ASOS. That's what you'd be thinking.
Yeah. Maybe
they think you were maybe they would think you were the first reserve, just out on the night out if you're walking along with the cast island. You know, the next one in the house. Next year, go on it next year.
I don't know if my wife would appreciate it. I mean, what is the whole idea of the show?
Just finding love, innit? She'll be alright.
Do you know what? I went in yesterday and she was watching something. It's called Love is Blind. Not a single blind person on it, for starters.
Really?
Yeah. But you got to sit there in these little booths and talk to someone. So you get to know them before you actually see them. So you're in the dark, sort of. Like, not in the dark, but like you just can't see them.
Haven't the Catholic Church been doing that for about 2,000 years?
Different.
Oh.
And different. Stop laughing in the back. Forgot where I was going. Anyway, to get out of the little pods, you have to propose.
What?
Giddy. Oh, and by the way, you got to get married in the next 4 weeks.
So you meet and get proposed the same day?
Yeah. And
I love it.
the arguments some of them have, because they don't know each other.
This is like drive-through food, but for human beings' lives.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, so...
So it's swapping one form of imprisonment for another, then, basically. So it's either imprisoned in the pod or in a loveless marriage. You know, I don't know which one I choose, to be perfectly honest.
What more can we hope for?
Was on telly, so bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the game, innit?
I'll take a loveless marriage for a 10 grand appearance fee. Probably going to have one anyway.
So, Cheltenham next week then. Obviously, we know it's a big deal. What are we looking for? Tuesday, I guess, because I guess we'll be speaking to you ahead of Thursday, Friday's races, won't we? So, what's going to happen on Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yes, so Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 big days where you get the champion hurdler and the champion chaser. So they're pretty difficult to solve races this year, but, you know, I'm going to have a crack at it and give you the winners of both of them, hopefully. So the first one, the champion hurdle on the Tuesday, very open race this year. The favourite was due to be Bouba Dare, but he basically hit a hurdle and had a lump of wood in his foot, so he's out. So now it's basically up for grabs. And I think I'm going to go with Pentland Hills to win that. An improving young horse. Second favourite for the race. Should get probably about 5-6 to 1. So that should be good enough to get the money in on Tuesday. And then the best race of the entire meeting takes place the day after, on the Wednesday, when you've got probably the three best jumps horses in training, all taking each other on. Defi du Soi, Altior, and Chacun Pour Soir. Very difficult to pronounce, but, you know, that's just the way it is.
We'll throw them on the screen because I don't have a clue what you just said.
Chicken course
really.
Pasta dish.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to go with a horse called Chacun Pour Soir. I'm sure you guys will put the name of it down below somewhere so people will know exactly how to spell it on their bets. Yeah. And so, yeah, that should do the business on the Wednesday, about 5 to 2 at the moment. So those two should bring home the bacon before the big race of the whole meeting. The Gold Cup happens on the Friday, and I'll be back next week to talk to you about that one.
I've heard of the Gold Cup.
The Cheltenham Gold Cup?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one. So that...
Is it a real cup?
Is a thing.
A real cup made of gold you get for winning it, yeah.
The jockey gets to lift that, presumably. There's no, like, horse podium or anything.
The jockey gets to lift a tiny little version of it.
So the horse actually gets the trophy?
Yeah, it belongs to the horse, but funny enough, they don't really notice it that much. They don't have the same value of gold as people. the money-grabbing trainers and the owners nick that cup as soon as they get it.
So most of the horses are doing it for love, really, which is beautiful.
Yeah. The love of the game. The love of the game.
Do you reckon the horses know this is a big meeting?
Do you reckon they're like sitting in the back with like a towel on, like
70,000 people as they walk out through the crowds? 70,000 people. They'll know it's something different. Whether they know it's what it is.
Do racehorses have the blinkers on?
Some of them do. Some of them have earplugs.
Do they?
So that the noise doesn't get to them.
I'd wear that if I was a horse.
How does this work, right? Because from the little I know about horses, but their eyes are on the side of their head. Mm-hmm. So when you do that with the blinkers, haven't you just blindfolded it?
Mm-hmm.
It's so they can't see. So they can't see behind them. They hear the noise of the other horses, and it makes them go quicker.
Imagine if you were playing football, you're like, to calm me down, I'm going to stop being able to see.
Yeah.
Off you pop.
No.
No.
Madness.
Yeah. But horses for...
Do they not like, because they get like their hair braided and shit, don't they, before they do it? None of them like, get my hair done for the big meet.
Yeah, I mean, they're well looked after. It's like when you take your missus out and you let her have a manicure and all that beforehand. Granted, she's probably not jumping 30 fences and risking her life afterwards, but...
You don't know how we get down our kids, so let's just fucking leave it at that, shall we?
You're on the back. Up on.
Hey, we do a bit of fence hopping.
Yeah.
Sometimes. All right, nice one, Ross. I'll speak to you next week.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
And that about wraps it up. Belting week of sport this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it to get more diverse. I'm worried that the Olympics is going to get affected by the coronavirus. Do you know, like, Amazon's out of, like, hand gel?
Are they?
Yeah.
Come on, wash your hands properly. I've never liked hand gel. I don't like the smell it leaves. I don't like the idea that there is just a sort of graveyard of dead germs stuck to your hand. That, yes, they're dead, but they're still there. You're not rinsing them away like you do with water. Wash your hands properly, you scruffs.
Never thought of them not just being dead.
Yeah, or just dead. Just loads and millions of dead bacteria all on your hands like that. Smell them, just snorted 1,000 into the back of my brain. I don't want a big build-up of dead bacteria stuck to the back of my nose.
Coronavirus is affecting sport, though.
Big time.
Was it Juventus and AC Milan this weekend?
Yeah.
Not happening.
Was it behind closed doors?
No, they had one of the European games behind closed doors.
Because obviously viruses can't get through doors. That's a fact.
Clearly.
They can't push it.
I think it's more to do with like tens of thousands of people all being in one spot.
Right. No, I get that. That makes sense.
And being on public transport and coughing and sneezing all over each other.
I get it.
I did have a look because I was looking. I thought, do you know what? It's my 5th anniversary in April.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I know. Flown by.
That's crazy. I wasn't invited.
I didn't know you, so it's a valid reason.
Still feels like I could have got an invite.
I was thinking, go to the Eternal City. That's a nice romantic place to take the missus for the weekend, isn't
First question, what is the Eternal City? Is
Rome.
it a shopping centre? Oh, Rome. Yes. You think it'd be Greece though, wouldn't you? Because they were before. Anyway, yeah. Are you going to go Rome then?
No.
Oh.
Right, because I thought, do you know what? Here's me trying to be a bit romantic and stuff like that. I know she really wants to go to Rome. She does some fucking right whinging about not getting invited to some of the trips to come and watch football that she shouldn't even like.
Or
right?
MMA.
Yeah. Oh, can I not go there? No, you don't. No, shut up. Right, anyway. So I thought, I'll take her Rome. She's always mithering about Rome. She wants to go to Rome. So I was like, right, had a quick look at a hotel. Oh, fine. Flights aren't bad. That's one benefit of the coronavirus. Good flight prices. Thought, sorted all that out. Speak to Mum. Can you watch a baby for the weekend? Yeah, no problem. Sound. Sorted. Would you like to go to Rome? No. Why?
Unbelievable.
Is a reason. Well, it was the coronavirus. And I thought, because you're not going to catch it sitting on a plane or something like that. I think people literally just become, what's the word I'm looking for?
Scared?
Not scared. Like,
infectious.
There was a word I wanted, which was a great word, where they're just like, they're not thinking straight. What's the word?
Well, when you think you're ill all the time.
No. When people just like, do you know what? It was a good word, and now we're just going to have to leave it.
Can it?
But anyway, she was like, no, like, because my mum and dad's next door neighbours went to Tenerife, and they're not back yet, and they were supposed to be back.
What, because they got corona'd off?
I think they've been quarantined.
Oh, imagine, that'd be so good.
And she's like, I don't want to get quarantined from the baby.
In the hotel, I'd be spreading rumours. I saw someone coughing by the pool, wrap this whole thing in cling film and get me another week of holiday. That's what I'd be saying.
But she was like, I don't want to be quarantined away from the baby for 2 weeks. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's not a bad point.
You could have her through, like, do you know those gloves that you see, like radioactive, just baby playing at the other side of that, you put your hands in. That'd be all right.
I was like, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to see what the actual guidelines is for what you do, like, and it was like, yeah, being on a plane isn't going to give you the coronavirus.
No.
it's a contact disease. So it's not even airborne. So it's literally contact. You've touched where the germs are, or someone that's carrying the germs. So it was like, if you're traveling on a plane, take a wet wipe down like the handrests and all the stuff in front of you, and you'll be fine.
Really?
Don't wear masks.
No, because that traps
make you
a lovely hot, wet environment for viruses to
hot,
breathe.
sweaty, and makes you hotter.
Is this a public service announcement?
No, I don't really know why we're onto this, but I was just saying.
But you wanted to go to Rome.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Rome.
But
I thought I'd catch a game over there. It was sort of related because it is in Italy.
Get some, yeah.
But I was like, it's not even an issue travelling.
Well, if you're not going to be going to Rome, Steve, can I interest you in some other potential events throughout the calendar?
Yeah, because
we need to start going to things. What's this, 5th week of this now?
I know, it's a joke. I apologise profusely. Right. Let's find something this month.
Okay, well,
find me something.
How about...
Can you suggest something? Commenters. People of the world. Right in the bottom, just go, look, lads, 17th of March, blur.
I've got a couple for you, Steve, in case they don't come up with anything. What are your thoughts on hamster racing? And I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's just hamsters going around a track with little sweatbands on. Hamster rodent races in miniature vehicles. They're driving cars, mate.
I didn't know hamsters could drive cars.
They could drive cars. Hide and seek.
What?
Hide and seek. Hot dog eating championships. What do you think to that?
Can I enter?
Here's one you might want to enter. Maybe not on the same day. Kissing championships. Such as unusual events, such as underwater and basketball kissing.
Basketball kissing?
Can't imagine how that would possibly work. Land diving, dry land bungee jumping. That sounds like...
that sounds like suicide.
Suicide, yeah.
What the
fuck? Then there's lizard racing championships, man versus horse marathon.
My money's on a horse. I'm not going to lie to you. If it's like you and fucking Shergar... I'm going with a horse.
Oh, here's a good one we could go to. Or Mr. Ugly. Who is the ugliest person in Zimbabwe? Let's find out. Why would we not want to find the ugliest person in Zimbabwe?
Did you get a T-shirt for that?
Yeah, there's also ostrich racing, rock, paper, scissors world championships, a pie eating contest.
The rock, paper, scissors world championships? I'm sorry. I think I'm quite good at rock, paper, scissors.
No, you don't know the tactics, mate. You're releasing your hand too early. You're tenting too much when you're going for rock. We can see it a mile off. Us pros. The way my scissors come out, like that, instantaneous.
Christ.
Yeah. Running with the bulls, bit cruel. How about running of the
I really wanted to do that,
noose?
though. I wanted to do the running with the bulls. All my mates were shithouses. So it's in Pamplona, right?
Yeah.
And they have a big festival. And yes, there's loads of people who see their arse about bullfighting and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
no, to be fair, I get it, right? I get it. And I wouldn't want to do anything that's cruel like that. But it's an experience, and I was like, I wouldn't mind trying it before they fucking outlaw it, because it's probably got about 3 years left.
Occasionally a bull runs into a house at 35 miles an hour and just dies instantly, which is a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's got some like pure 90-degree turns in there and stuff like that. But it's almost fair, because the people get fucked up just as much.
Yeah, that's always good when you see that. But if you don't like the cruelty of bullfighting, shin kicking.
Now, that's
shoulders.
pretty local, isn't it? Haven't we covered this one?
We haven't covered it before. We've talked about it in the office. Bit of shin kicking. Yeah.
See,
it's in the Cotswold. It's part of the Cotswold Olympics.
Why? That feels like it's a northern thing, though.
Well, Cotswold is northern, isn't it?
No.
Where is it?
Down south.
Is it?
Definitely.
What's the one that's Cumbria?
Yeah.
Oh, I always confuse those
Like,
two.
my shins, because of my injuries, my shins, they just hurt to touch. I can't imagine having a, like, I mean, because they wear, like, boots.
Yeah, they kick hard and they wear hard as well. Tony Ferguson would be good. He just kicks metal,
Oh, God, can you
metal
imagine?
beams.
Yeah, like, do you know what? I want to go to that.
Yeah.
I do want to go to that. And I want to interview him and go, are you fucking mental? Let's go to that.
I think they are.
Yeah, all right, we're going to that. Find out
Shin
what night.
kicking.
Shin kicking championship.
Put it on the list. That's coming up soon.
Because I think we could tie that in with refreshments. Right, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the guys that we spoke to on the calls. If you'd like to check out more from them, tips for Cheltenham next week from GG, that's in the description. What's going on at UFC, that's in there as well. And I guess to say thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Anything else to say?
See, that is the speed, and you'll never match that, and that's why I'm in the championships, and you're not.
Yeah, but you do it on a...
Yeah, but the way your hand is opening like a hedgehog when you tickle its belly. Too slow. 1-0.
See you next week.